In today's video, it's going to be an exciting one, and let me tell you why. I'm going to be talking about two brands. One does over $50,000 a day, and the other one does most likely below $5,000 a day in sales. The major difference, right? Same product, same market. The major difference is their sales process. I'm going to bring you through their exact sales process from A to Z so that you can see with your own eyes why one is making more money than the other. Before we get going further into the video, my name is Brando. If you are a new viewer, I actively work with 7 and multi-8-figure brands. This is just one of our own clients that in the last 30 days generated over $1 million a month, as you can see on your screen. Great, so the first thing that I actually want to do to start this video is actually show the two brands and the product that I'm talking about. They're selling like a very saturated knee brace. We've seen, I mean, they're not super like exactly the same, but they serve the same purpose, basically the same product. And this company here, Neurogene, I think that it's called, you know, they're not doing so good. I mean, they have like 36 active ads. This could mean that they're maybe doing, you know, $2, $3, $4, maybe $5,000 a day. Could be that they're doing less. They're obviously not, their ads are not too bad, if I have to be honest, but their sales process is just very kind of basic. On the other side, we have Trywellney. I've also done other case studies about this brand. And on the other hand, they have basically 490 active ads. This is what the Facebook ads library is telling us. And their funnels are a lot more complicated. Their ads are also a bit better, of course, but the major difference, if I have to just be honest with everyone, is the actual sales process itself. So I'm going to be comparing the two sales processes and actually showing you actually what these two brands are doing. Let me start with the bad one, the one that's not doing as much revenue, and then let me just move forward then and talking about the one that is actually making a lot of revenue. So if we have to compare sales processes here, this sales process for Neurogene is very, very simple. So they go from ad, this is like a, their ads are okay, some are better than others, but it's basically a very simple sales process. So they go from here, as you can see, they're selling in the US market. It's a .us domain if you see that on the top. But the sales process is very kind of like, it's going from here directly to the product page. And there isn't really some sort of like, not only congruency between ad and the landing page, but there's no like nurturing, right? They're expecting that people are just ready to buy, and in most cases we're not selling clothing, right, which is a different type of approach. We're selling a problem-solving product, right? So the most important thing to understand when it comes to growing an e-commerce brand is that if you can attract unaware audiences, right, and create a sales process that is optimized also for people that are completely unaware of like, you know, their problem, or they maybe are aware of the problem, but they don't know about the solutions. If you can cater and build a sales process that is a lot more kind of like, it gives everybody the opportunity to learn more about the product, understand about their pain points, their desires, and then gradually introduce the solution, it's a lot better. So let me bring you an actual example. So before I do that, let me show you kind of like what most brands are doing, which is similar to what Neurogene is doing compared to what Trywellney is doing, just so you see a visual map, and then we can dive deeper into their entire sales process. Most brands do basically here's the ad, they go to a sales page or product page, and then they basically have a cart. In some cases, they even skip the cart and they just go directly to checkout. So it's like super, super high pressure, and they're expecting everybody to just like convert. One important thing to notice is that this sales process could perhaps work if you have like a very, very unique product and you do a good explanation, do a good job explaining, features and benefits and how this product really differentiates. If you sell somewhat of a similar product or the same exact product as a lot of your competitors, this is definitely not going to work because there's no differentiating factor. You're not explaining to people why your product is better than others. You're not nurturing them. You're not giving them a step-by-step sequence to convince them that your product is the one to buy from, right? Or your brand is the one to buy from. Now, let's compare this to another sales process that is optimized to make more money, increase conversion rate, and just average order value. And the entire just sales process is optimized to spend more on paid advertising, right? And so it typically starts with like an ad, whatever, probably even better ads, that go to an advertorial, that then go to a sales page, that then go to an add to cart, that then go to a checkout, and then we see a couple of typically 2 to 3 offers on the back end, which are typically 2 upsells, upsell 1 and upsell 2, or upsell 1 and downsell 1 in case they reject the first offer. So minimum, they see 2 offers, if not 3 offers. And these offers are typically upsells, so $100, $200 bundles or whatever, just to really increase the average order value overall by 10, 20, sometimes even 25, 30%, if we have to be honest. So I'm going to go through their funnel and explain why this is working so well. So let me just go over in a tool called Atria. I recommend installing it. It's a great tool. I like to basically funnel hack the entire competition and take a look at what people are doing on Atria, because I can I can take a look at what they're doing with their ads. And so I always filter by status, active ads, take a look at what they're doing to see how many active ads they have. They're running a lot of funnels, but there's also a page called landing pages where I can funnel hack where they are sending most of their traffic. So I can see that 68 and like 13% of their traffic, basically like 70, 80, 83, 84% of their traffic, maybe a bit less, is going to these two advertorials and these two landing pages. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through them exactly just so you understand that. Then they're obviously testing a lot other funnels, which seem like they're not maybe converting as well. So they're, more on the sidelines. Now let's take a look at these two offers or these two landing pages. So the first one is an advertorial that doesn't even mention the price of the product. It doesn't really go through too much of like, hey, you have the pain and you need this solution immediately, right? It's like very kind of laid back. It's an advertorial. The purpose of an advertorial is to get people more aware of their product, their problem, the solutions that there are in the market, and potentially what they tried before, what they did not try before, whatever. And then gradually and organically, very organically and gradually introduce a potential product that can solve that specific problem. So in this case, it's a physical therapist shares the fastest way to overcome knee pain and swelling. So this is a very kind of like broad angle. I would typically prefer, if I have to be honest, to go after a more kind of like unique avatar. So maybe how, former, I'm just saying something random, I would have to analyze the addressable market to make sure it's a good avatar, but I would maybe target a specific person that as maybe was a former athlete or somebody who likes to jog and still wants to avoid knee pain, right? So that's, of course, a bit more of a condensed avatar. But regardless of that, this still works. It works because we're giving information before we're hard selling a product. And of course, this is on the sidelines. You know how we read like normal articles as if they were ads. So this is also something people are used to seeing, which is no problem. And so here it says, I used to love my job, but it was starting to become too much. My knees were hurting so much I couldn't barely stand. So this is probably a very strong hook because once again, what you know for a fact that people know is their problem and their pain points. They know them, okay? That is what you should be addressing in the ads, right? And in the advertorial. You can't just immediately show them a 1-2 minute VSL and then immediately go to a product page like this expecting them to be 100% sold. It doesn't work like that, especially in saturated products and saturated markets. You have to be very good at conveying your message. Right, so let's just keep reading for a little bit. Months of foot pain slowed my life. That's a very big pain point. Being in your mid-40s and feeling so weak and helpless felt awful. Right, so they're showing like people inventing and trying to put something on their knee. Right, everything I tried was unsuitable, unsustainable, and unaffordable. Right, they also they talk about pills, what most people try to take painkillers. Probably going to talk about knee surgery or something like that. Not sure if they are talking about knee surgery here, but it's obviously not a bad idea. You can present solutions of what they could potentially try or what they tried before. One of them could be like knee surgery. You could probably like want to avoid that to do knee surgery instead of like finding an alternative solution. And so here it organically kind of like introduces the product. So once people are a bit more sold that they know that they have the product, you are addressing that they have they know that they have a problem. You're addressing their problems and their aspirations and their context, like who they are and what they're doing in their life, so that it resonates with them. So they're a bit more sold, but they maybe are not that sold yet, because this is the purpose of the advertorial for everyone is not to sell people, is to make people aware of their problems. They need to feel understood, and it's to also educate them on what's out there in the market and what most people are doing and why it's not working, and how this potential other solution could be the right fit for them. And this is how it's basically presented. If you take a look at this other advertorial, this is also kind of like a similar advertorial approach. This revolution, it's maybe a bit more direct. This revolutionary herbal patch relieves knee pain effortlessly. My theory why this is maybe a bit more direct when it comes to the product is because it's a more unique product. I haven't really seen too many herbal knee patches, if I have to be honest. So this is a bit more of a unique product. But either way, it's not hard selling. It's not hard selling. It's talking about, let's read through this. This patch saved my knees from an operation. Good hook. My knee pain started in the 30s. Of course, I had some discomfort before, but when I started hurting daily, I started to freak out. I thought maybe I just slept wrong, but the pain didn't go away in face. In fact, it got worse, right? So going through the pain, going through the pain, going through the pain. So what is this? This is a Well Knee Pain Relief Patch. Is a non-invasive adhesive patch whatever that is, chock full of natural ingredients. It's talking about the the natural ingredients. It's talking about the product. It's introducing the product, but it's not like shoving it down their throat with like a landing page here, buy now. Like when people see this, they recognize you being like really salesy and to the point. So this is what I recommend to do. This is also something that we use for our own clients that works very, very well. But go and send people to an advertorial like they're doing it. So what happens when you click through over here? They can see like there's an offer, so they're interested. We're not showing the price yet because we don't want to like disguise and distract the price from like the solution. It's like also when you're like selling a high ticket service, like sure you can give a price of give the price up front. That's no problem. It really depends on the sales process. But in most cases, when you hop on a call and there's a prospect that says, what's the price, and you tell them the price, then they immediately recognize the price and it's stuck in their mind and they don't even listen to what you have to say. Same thing is with landing pages. Hide the price until the end so that you can bring them through why they should be interested in the problem, the solution, the desire, the aspiration, whatever, and start creating these desires and explain to them why this is something that is really important, what's stopping them from avoiding the knee pain, and what potential solution they should start using right now to get rid of the knee pain. So this is something called a sales page. It's a direct pitch of the product, right? So the landing page over here is more about the problems, right? The potential solutions, maybe spitting out scientific facts that are why talking about why you are getting knee pain in the first place, right? Introducing that problem. Here's only about the actual, it's a sales page, so it's mostly about the product, right? And then it talks more directly about the product, use cases, right? Who are most people that use this product? In this case, there's like features and benefits, right? There's also like a scientifically backed data on something specific, how it works, step 1, step 2, step 3, how to use the knee brace, right? Customers, you get the point. And then you get to see the actual offer. This could be your add to cart. I think they're doing this on Funnelish, I believe, most likely, or ClickFunnels or Funnelish. But it doesn't actually matter. You can also do this on Shopify, as long as you have a sales process that looks something like this. It's completely fine. And like this is done on Funnelish. Once again, maybe you can have your Shopify add to cart page, it works completely fine. You can also customize themes. You can have like a developer go in your Shopify and customize and make it look maybe a bit more like this. You don't have to use Funnelish. If you want, use Funnelish. I highly recommend it as well. Okay. Now, what happens over here is that I'm not able to see the other offers right now, but I know that they have I know for a fact, I also saw a funnel somewhere else, somebody else speaking about it, that they have like post-purchase offers, upsells, downsells, cross-sells. In most cases, they show, as I showed you before, they show 3 offers, at least 2 offers. One being the upsell number 1. If they say yes to this, they see another upsell, which is maybe around $100, $200, like a big bundle. Could be like same product, more quantity, better discount, or complementary products, right? They could be selling supplements on the back end, right? In fact, we can actually take a look at what other potential products they could be selling on the back end just to have a better idea. We can go on their website over here. No, this is not their website. Let's just go on the website here, trywellknee.com, and they probably have other products, right? They have knee braces, patches, and supplements. So this is probably what they're upselling on the back end, right? Joint pain supplement. You can see that this is not a sales page they send traffic to. It's like, just a standard page. And this is pretty much what this other company is doing. So long story short, why is this important? This type of sales process that Wellknee is doing with all these articles, listicles, sales pages, funnels with upsells, downsells, this is creating a process that increases conversion rate and increases average order value. I'm sure I don't need to explain this by now. It's super important. What this is allowing people to do is, first of all, you can spend more on ads because the ad you're gonna find more winners because the ads are gonna convert more, and they're gonna be able to scale more. So just imagine your cost per acquisition is $50, and with this funnel, you're maybe making $70 for every $50 you spend, right? Maybe with this funnel, for every $50 you spend, make $100 because you have better conversion rates, as I said, better average order value because you have upsells, downsells, cross-sells, right, and stuff like that. And so they also have like quick add-ons, maximize your knee pain with the herbal patches. You see, they're already kind of like doing it an on-cart upsell or kind of like cross-sell directly on the cart page. This is called an order bump. Super, super effective. But anyways, you get the point. If you are able, right, throughout your sales process, this is what I recommend for you to do. Once you have an infrastructure that you're like, okay, I can spend $1 and make money back, but I can't really scale. and you kind of reached that ceiling, try to think, even if you have a good conversion rate and a good average order value, it doesn't mean that that is enough for you to scale to the next level, right? So of course, one thing that I always advise you to do is understand the levels of priority, right? Take a look at your entire funnel. If you have $5 cost per click, so of course you probably need to make better ads, but this doesn't stop you from getting better results overall if you just work on a better sales process, okay? Better sales process means you can spend more. So sure, do better ads. You can always never stop doing better ads. That should be one of your main focuses, but also fix your funnel. I can guarantee you, if you have a sales process that is congruent to one specific avatar or pain point, right? And you're not shoving a product down people's throat, especially considering that most of these people are most likely coming from meta ads, super cold, they don't know who you are, right? You're just distracting them in the middle of the day. Then test this, and I can guarantee you that your conversion rates are going to increase, your average order value is going to increase, and also you can scale more. In some cases, significantly more. One last thing that I want to say is that in many cases, if you don't have leverage over your product, you need to have leverage over something, right? You can't just expect to have like the same exact results as the person that entered the market first, right? In that case, that's their leverage. They enter the market as first, as the first brand, and so they acquired a lot of customers and they have leverage, right? They have a seasoned pixel, they have a lot of customers, they can probably scale more. If you are the hundredth person selling this product, you need to have some sort of leverage. Leverage could be features on the product, could be a better sales process that converts, where people, your average order value is 20% higher compared to the average industry rate, or your conversion rate is 20% higher, or both compared to the average industry rate. So you need to find your form of leverage to make this work, okay? That is it for this video. I hope it was valuable. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're a brand doing at least $100,000 a month plus or minus, and you want a free audit and explore the opportunity to work with us to get to the next level, whether that next level is 500K a month, $1 million a month, $5 million a month, whatever that is, we have experience working with 8 and 7 figure businesses. So apply, book in a call, and I'll see you there, and definitely see you in the next video. Bye.